Peter Racy here from Foundation Expo 88 YouTube channel, and I've come up to Bowen Hills, as you can see by the sign. In actual fact, we're probably in the midpoint of the RNA showgrounds, and I've come here because one of the saves from the work that were done earlier this year was the drover and his mate, and opposite you can see the tree, and this is probably the only inside snippet I can give away as to the placement of the various artworks. So in about 6 to 8 months, I suspect, we will see here placed underneath the tree the drover and his mate. Now, it's really been a very successful year as far as acquisitions and the enhancement of the Expo 88 art trail goes, and really one of the other purposes is to say thank you to Jason Ford for his sterling work, to Kat Feeney for her unstinting support, the ABC 612 breakfast crew, and also Greg Riddell up at the Caboolture Historical Village. That team of volunteers up at the Caboolture Historical Village really do deserve a pat on the back for their efforts in saving the Kendone Australia signs. Now, just give us a second. So one of the other things that we are doing today, as it is the 31st of December and a suitable day to do a last end of year report, calendar year, not financial year, is that we've come up to do some video footage for the Longreach City Council, Regional Council, of Expo Place, and I inserted a picture in the break so that it's clearly identified. Now, Expo Place is definitely from Expo 88, and it was the car park cover, according to Jason Ford, for the Expo 88 Fun Park. However, it is a bit of Expo 88. It will be available once this area or part of the RNA showground is redeveloped in 2 to 3 years' time. And I think it'd be a great addition to the Expo 88 narrative in the regions for this to go out to Longreach. 3,700 odd square metres of undercover space would really create a special place, and the Longreach Regional Council could develop a swimming complex underneath it that might include, for argument's sake, a dive training centre, rather unique out in Western Queensland. So let's just have a look at this structure from an idea of the size. The concrete columns are obviously, I'd say 600 core filled tubular columns they're called. Relatively simple, you wouldn't transport those. The only part of the structure I think that would be transported is a tubular frame. You'd put new roof on it and obviously insulate it, where at the present stage the roof is actually uninsulated, but out at Longreach, insulation even in an open space would, I think, be a sensible way of going about it. And the roof structure would catch a fair amount of water and fill up a fairly significant volume of storage area of water. So the back section entails a bit of a raised section, which I think was probably built to fit the contours of the area that it's actually been erected in, rather than being an original design feature. Hard to know, really. We'll go for a walk around and see if from the side street we can get a bit of a view as well. So we're at the side street. Just pulling the fence structure apart to actually get a bit of a view into the structure. There actually may be one or two central columns that actually will need to be transported, as they seem to have some sort of major structure sitting on top of the columns, concrete columns that then have a weight carrying arrangement with guide ropes coming down from the central poles, as you can see here. So in conclusion, to the end of year report, it's been really successful, and I'm hoping that the relocation of this Expo 88 structure out to Longreach ends up being the centrepiece for the 35th anniversary, as the regional narrative in support of the Expo 88 art trail here in Brisbane really takes hold in the next phase of the growth of the memory touchstones for Expo 88. Thank you and Happy New Year.